Hello everyone. So in this video, we are going to see the contacts, how to create a customer, how to create a vendor, and all the fields that are related to the contacts. So let's go to the contact module. So in this contacts, you can see all the contacts that has been created, including your vendors, your customers, everything has been stored in this contact module itself. Okay, over here you have the contact tags over here. So all these tags that are related to contacts are created over here. You can always create by selecting on new, and then you can name the tag. You can give the specific color for the tag, and then you can link the parent category for the tag. Okay, if it's the main parent, I mean like the main parent, you don't have to select the parent category. Okay, if you're creating a child, then always link a parent to it. Then you have the contact titles over here. These are all the titles that you can use for the contacts like administrator, doctor, madam, miss, Mr., president, principal, professor, the real estate development manager. You can create as you want and just give the abbreviation that over here you want to give it. Okay, let's say for Professor we give PROF, for Mr. we give MR dot. So that's how you can give the abbreviations for those. These are the industries. You can create the industries over here, where in the wholesale and retail you can give the full name as wholesale and retail trade, repair and motor vehicles, basically, which you can link this to a particular contact itself. Over here, these are all the countries. You can see, okay, a specific contact could be from a specific country itself. You can always select the country over here. You have the states that has been created over here with the state code itself, okay, which is linked to a country. Over here you have a country group. Okay, you can create the groups of the countries as well, or you can always select a new and then create the countries that are linked to this, and you can define some price list or some discount policy for that particular region. Over here you have the bank accounts and the banks. Okay, you can always create the banks over here with the bank code and the banks. You can link this all bank accounts to a particular contact itself. Over here you have all the activities that needs to be done to a particular contact. Let's say that these are all the tags that has been created. You need to give a call back over here, or you need to send an email for this date. You can always create the tags. You can set a deadline to this. And these are all the activities that has been created till date over here. Okay, irrespective of the user. Okay, so my activities are the ones that you have created and assigned it to yourself, or someone has created and assigned it to yourself. All activities are something that you can see all the activities that has been assigned for all the users. Over here you can see always the model, from which model the activities has been created, and you can always open a record for it, so that you come to know, okay, for which was this record been created, and what was the activity that was linked to it. And this is a list view where you can always see all the records over here with the contacts. This is a Kanban view. This is a list view where you can see all the contacts over here itself. Okay, you have the filters option over here. Yeah, you can group by, add a custom group if you want, and always you can have these favorites which has been already created by some of the users. So there's another really cool thing that you can see with the map as well. Okay, so in this map, whenever you create a contact and you add the address, it would always show you the locations that these particular records are created. Let's say for this, okay, this is the address, okay, which has been pinpointed with the Google Maps. But only one thing, when you click on this, if you see this loading, The loading time takes a lot in order to map it over here. Okay, so make sure that you need to wait a lot for this feature to really update it for all the contacts, because there are like 19,000 contacts, right? So it takes a lot of time to load all the contacts over here. But this really cool feature helps you to directly navigate to the particular address, or you can directly open and then see all the contacts that related to that particular location. So you can always filter it by with the locations over here in the map. Now if you see, these are all the locations that has been currently updating. Okay, so the only thing for this feature is like, yeah, it takes a lot of time for the loading to for all the contacts. And then we have another thing is, this is the activities. Okay, so it would always show you the activities over here that you need to create, that you have already been created and assigned, and always see what's the activity says to call back. This is the sales team that has been created with the ODU over here. You can always create an activity right away from here as well for a particular contact. You can filter down with the individual, the companies, with some of the vendor bills if you want. Now, in order to create a contact, you can always go to the contacts, click on the new button, and over here you can specify whether it's an individual or a company. Okay, you can always create a company contact, create an address, street 1, street 2, city, state. These are all the states that has been listed under the configuration that we have just seen over here, federal states. Okay, then we have the zip code and the countries which are already been listed over here. Okay, over here you can enter the ENI number. You can link a certain contact to a particular project. Okay, either it could be a vendor, or it could be a customer that has been linked to a certain project. You can always link this. So you add the office number, cell phone number, then the fax number, email, website, tags. And in this, you can create as a company and then add these the contacts of this company. You can create multiple options over here. You can either create a contact of that of a particular company that has been created. You can create the job site address, invoice address, delivery address, the other addresses, private address, and over here you can have the follow-up address that you can add. So these are all the contacts that you can create, and then just create a name that you need for invoicing address. You can always create a contact as a contact person, then the address and the email and the phone number. So whenever you create any invoice, okay, so this address would auto pick over there. This is the delivery address. The delivery address, when you enter the delivery address over here, and whenever the sale order has been created, the moment you confirm the sale order, a delivery order gets created. So by default, the delivery address would be picked from this particular contact's delivery address if you have added. So that's the features that has been added in this. I'll just show you one of the contact that has already been created, right? So over here, you have the another options which gets auto fetched. If a particular contact has been linked to a certain opportunity, it would always show you over here that this particular contact has been linked to an opportunity. How many opportunities it has been linked to, you can always track it through the smart button that we have created under the contacts. So there's a list view. These are the sales. So if there are any sale order that has been created for a particular contact, you can always see over here. Let me search one. Right. So yeah, now if you see over here, there are 14 sale orders that has been created for this particular contact. Okay, so it would always show the sale order number, the order date, the customer, the salespersons for which, and the total invoice, the invoice status and the total sale order value over here. There are other options as well, like the delivery date, expected delivery date. If you want to filter by, you can always add it over here with the taxes as well. So this is another sale, like a smart button. These are the subscriptions. So this is useful for those industries who run with the subscription model. And if a customer is subscribing to their some of the products, so it would always show you their current subscription, the upcoming subscription over here itself. These are all the purchase orders that has been created for this particular context. So all the purchase order that has been created till date over here, you can see at one glance. Over here, it shows you the rate, okay, the on-time delivery. If you are purchasing from this particular vendor, how many was the on-time rate over here? It would show you if that particular vendor has crossed a certain deadline. Okay, so this particular vendor has been always been on time with the 100% accuracy. Okay, so before the deadline, it would always get delivered. You can see all the products that has been delivered to there with the on-time delivery. These are the invoices. Okay, these are the vendor bills that has been created against it. So it always create a partner ledger as well, so you can always see the status of the payment over here. What are the total payment that needs to be done, what are the tax amount, okay, how many, if there's a partial paid, you always see the amount over here. So everything is linked to a contact. You can see a partner ledger, the one that I've just mentioned you. You can always see the partner ledger over here with the current bill statuses with the debit credit amount. These are the documents, and if you want to generate a barcode, you can always generate a barcode over here as well. Okay. Then we have this sales and purchase over here. You can define the price list to a particular customer. Okay, you can define a salesperson to a particular customer. What are the payment terms? What are the delivery method? If it's a customer, you can always click this as a customer. Okay, so there's a checkbox that comes over here where you can define if you want to create it as a customer or you're creating it as a vendor. So over here, we have created this contact as a vendor itself, but then obviously you can create as both. Okay, a contact can be a customer and a vendor as well. Okay, so in that case, you can obviously click both of them. Yeah, these are the point of sale, but this model is generally for the stores. Over here in the miscellaneous, you can add the company ID, reference, website, then the industry which it belongs to, and the policies as well. Over here, if it's the vendor, you can always add the payment terms over here, the payment methods over here. Okay, if it's a vendor, you want a receipt reminder, then the supplier currency, you can mention the supplier currency. The currency drop downs are enabled under the settings itself. So currencies, in order to enable the currencies, you need to always go to the accounting. Even for the fiscal positions, in order to make the fiscal positions, to map the particular fiscal position, you can do through that accounting itself. I can show you. You can go to the accounting configurations. Over here, you have the currency and the fiscal positions. You can always go to the currencies. Over here, currently we have just enabled with the USD and Indian rupees. You can always enable the other currencies as well if you require. Just you need to active this particular currencies with the toggle button. Even for the fiscal positions, you need to create the fiscal positions and map the taxes. So fiscal positions are basically used for mapping the taxes as basically. Okay, if you want to detect it automatically for a particular region or for a particular country, it can if you want, you can add that for the taxes as well. Okay, let's say for the European region, the taxes applied or if you're selling something, the taxes would apply differently. So you can select the taxes. Okay, let's say that for a particular product you have added 15% tax, but for the when you're selling it to the some of the European countries, okay, if you're adding it over here, you can select it as it could be basically 10% or might be 20%. So you can always map that and select it automatically. So what would it would do is the moment that particular invoice or a bill has been generated for that particular company which has been created for the particular contact is linked, it would automatically select the right amount of the percentage for the taxes. So that's how you can add and you can see the multiple currencies or the physical position that have been mapped. Over here, these are the accounting related things that you can manage. You can create, if you want to add the parent company, you can always click on this and add the parent company with over here. You can add the internal notes. And if you want, you can give some warning or some messages for this particular contact on the sale orders as well. Okay, you can do it contact wise to have that warning on the sale orders. So whenever you create a sale order and you choose this E.E cruise company, now it would always pop up a message for the sales on the warning. Okay, over here these are the partner assignments where you can the feature that I showed you for the map. Okay, you can always pinpoint a geolocation with the latitude and the longitude. You can add it and also you can compute it based on the addresses which you have already filled over here. Okay, so there are two ways that you can configure that geolocation. The one that I just showed you in the list view over here. So that's how it is helpful. So whenever you create a contact, and you can always compute this on the addresses as well. So that's how you can create a customer and a vendor as well. But for the contacts, okay, so even the user, all the users that has been created. So if I go to the settings, there's another thing. All the users that has been created, okay, over here. The moment you create a user, a contact has been created. So a user is nothing but a contact itself. Okay, so even the employees, if I go to the employees over here, the moment you create an employee, okay, and a contact gets created against an employee itself. Okay, so even if you're creating an employee in the employees module, under the contacts, it would always create a contact for that. So everything that has been related to the payment or to the users, to the customers, to the vendors, everything is linked to the contacts module itself. Okay, so that's how the entire contact module has been linked throughout the Odoo platform. And the other feature that I wanted to show is that you can star mark few of the contacts right through over here. Okay, so that all the star marks ones would populate on the top lists over here. Okay, so any contact that you have created, you can always star mark those contacts so that it would always populate on the top list. And you can always group by filters over here. You can search in contact as well. So that's how contact has been created, and you can manage the contacts through the contacts module. Okay, you can always create the contacts through the sales modules as well. You can, even in the sales, when you click on customer and when you hit on new, okay, and so basically this would create it as a customer itself. Okay, you can always go and check box this as well, but you can create a contact through the sales module, through the purchase module as well. You can go to the purchase module. Under the orders, you have vendors. Okay, so depending upon the access for the users, so the sales team that would have an access to the purchase, or the purchase team wouldn't have access to the cellular, vice versa. So you can always create the contacts through the particular module itself. Okay. And all the contacts, if you want to view, you can directly go on the contacts module itself. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Bye.